Good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. Today's date is February the 11th, 2026. The time is now 8:45. With the staff at headquarters, please introduce yourselves.
Carla Williams.
Francis Abbott.
And we are at the St. Bernard Jail. And would you, staff, please introduce yourselves?
Sergeant Babin.
I'm sorry, the last name again?
Babin, D-A-B-I-N.
Thank you. Hey, Sergeant, do you have anything to say about this offender before we get started?
I do not know, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Sir, would you please state your name and your DOC number for the record?
Yes, ma'am. Richard Fontenot, 733-076.
Okay. Mr. Fontenot, you're before this panel with allegations of violating your conditions of parole. Do you have a piece of paper in front of you that you recognize your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the answers to that questionnaire indicate that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. Have you hired an attorney for today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started then. I'm going to read out the allegations against you, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty. Condition number 2 states that you will submit a monthly report by the 5th of every month until you complete your supervision. And you'll also report to your parole officer when ordered to do so. You absconded supervision on or about March 2025. How do you plead?
Can I ask a question?
No, not until we finish this part, okay? So I just need a plea at this point.
Like guilty, yes.
Okay.
My question got something to do with that. Like I don't want
Okay, so what is your question now?
Does violating my parole violate probation at the same time?
Parole and probation are two separate things.
Okay, so like if I violate my parole, that's why I didn't violate, because I didn't know if it violates probation. I would have violated if I would have known that I couldn't get an answer out my parole officer.
Okay. Let's stick with this parole portion, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, allegation for condition number 3. You moved from your address of record and your whereabouts were unknown until your most recent arrest. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Number 4, you were arrested on 10/30/2025 by NOPD relative to a St. Bernard warrant for battery of dating partner, simple criminal damage to property, and resisting an officer. You now have a trial date of April 4th, 2026. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And number 9, you failed to allow an officer to visit your residence and search a property, person, and vehicle because you had absconded in March.
Guilty.
Mr. Fontenot, do you have any other comments to make about your behavior on parole?
I mean, I stayed employed. Yeah, I didn't have the same address, but I definitely stayed employed. I was doing HVAC with Robert Refrigeration. And I mean, the only problem I had was not reporting, you know?
Well, you also have pending charges.
Yes,
so-
ma'am.
Okay, so if there's no questions by my colleague, based on your admission of guilt, I'll go ahead and cast the first vote. My vote today is to revoke based on continued criminal behavior. Ms.
Yes,
Staples
I concur with Ms. Ledoux.
and Mr. Barra.
Concur, Mr. Ledoux, same reason.
Mr. Fontenot, in reading your preliminary reports, I hope that you get some anger management help, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. On the panel today, to my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Barra. I'm Ms. Ledoux. We are at Jefferson Parish. Staff.
Yes, good morning. How you doing? Deputy Joshua Scott with Jefferson Parish.
Yeah, get Mr. Gravois.
Wow, yeah, still getting them Guava. Who? Mr. Guava? Robert.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything to say about the offender before we get started?
You're good.
No.
He's okay. Thank you.
Good morning.
Hello, sir. Good. On my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Barra, Ms. Ledoux. And would you introduce yourself with your name and your DOC number?
Yes, ma'am. Robert Joseph Bravo III. What number I need? DOC 591238.
Okay. Mr. Gravois, do you have in front of you a piece of paper that you recognize your signature on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The answers to that questionnaire indicate that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. Have you retained counsel?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to be asked some questions by Mr. Barra, and you're going to answer guilty with a statement, or not guilty. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Barra.
All right, Mr. Gravois, it's alleged you violated the conditions of your parole by violating number 3. That you failed to provide a valid address, preventing probation and parole from visiting you at home or elsewhere. Your whereabouts were unknown until your arrest on 10/1/25. How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
All right, you have failed to refrain from criminal conduct as evidenced by your arrest on 10/1/25 by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office for 2 fugitive attachments and a municipal traffic attachment and theft. How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
And you failed to make a single payment towards your supervision fees. How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to tell us or explain to us, anything before we vote?
Yeah, I was just trying to get myself together. I kind of got lost in the system on the outside. I went to Avenues in Covington. I graduated, and I'd asked them to place me in a place where I can. I'm homeless without that. I went through a bad divorce in 18. And I've been trying to scrape my way back to the top. I'm 50,000 in child support right now, and in arrear. And I went to this place in Covington where they kicked me out for not having a job one time. So I was back on the streets in New Orleans within 2 or 3 months after getting out in May. And I was doing great until then. I had asked to go to the Bridge House, or a place where I was going to be in the position to succeed, or any other Christian program that would set me up for success. I can't say, once I got out on my own reconnaissance, I ended up reoffending, and I fell back to my old ways. But I just hope they kind of see that I wasn't, I was trying to do the right thing. I got a little 8-year-old who'll be 9 in July, will be 40 in March. I'm not getting that much younger. I'm still young, but I want to turn it around right now before it does get, I'm too old. But yeah, that's about it.
You have a problem with drugs?
Yes, sir. I've been struggling with opiate addiction since I was about 12. I got in a dirt bike accident. I got prescribed some pain medicine as a teenager and, at a preteen. And I've been struggling ever since. I completed drug court in Lafourche Parish. In 2015, I graduated that. I did good for about 3 years. And like I said, around the time of the divorce, I went back out. I relapsed in 2018. And I had some points in between, but I did it. I started doing time around that time. I started about 31, I did a year, and at 35, I did another year. And I just did a year at 38 to 39, like when I turned 39.
In the notes, I read that you had checked yourself into rehab on 7/16, but you left on 7/31.
No, I graduated Avenues. I stayed 50 days. I stayed 50 days in Covington. I was around, I don't know, about 7. I don't think I went anywhere in August.
July.
Oh yeah, July was at Avenues. I graduated, the one in Covington, it used to be Townsend. I stayed there, it was a 28-day program. I stayed about 45, 48 days. And then I went to True Freedom, IOP. I was doing 3 days a week IOP, and I was at a 3-quarter house. They had let me go because I didn't have a job in time. But I was doing the IOP. I was going to the meetings and everything else. So that's how I ended up back on the streets. But yeah, no, I completed all the programs. I stayed as long as I could. I was actually trying to stay at that place longer.
Any other questions? Mr. Barra, you ready?
Yes, all right, Mr. Gravo, I believe that you do have a problem and that you do need some help and treatment, so I'm gonna not revoke you. In fact, in lieu of revocation, I'm gonna send you to a long-term DOC substance abuse treatment program. And upon completion of that, I see they screening you for drug court somewhere.
They could accept it, but they said I couldn't be on parole, and they had accepted me for the one out here for specialty court.
Okay, well, then what you're gonna get with DOC is gonna probably be even better than that. I was gonna say, if they accept you for the drug court, that would follow the DOC treatment. If not accepted in drug court, then you just follow the outpatient plan that comes with the DOC.
Where the DOC one's gonna be?
Well, there's several different ones. It'd be something like Steve Hall.
All right.
On that one.
Is that still prison?
Yeah, you're still locked up for it. You don't get a true chance to leave until you finish. A little incentive to make sure you complete. Or I could revoke you.
I mean, how long the DOC one is? I'm just tired of being in prison, bro. I got stabbed in my head. I don't really deserve a lot of stuff that goes on. You know what I'm saying? These places ain't exactly treatment, you know?
Well, the DOC, when they evaluate you and they determine how long you're gonna stay.
I mean, this would be immediately. I'd have to wait like a long time, or
Hopefully not. I can't tell you that how long that takes to get in either. It depends on availability, but I'm gonna leave it open where they can send you into one of whichever one opens up first.
all right.
All right, so that's my vote to, in lieu of revocation, complete DOC, long-term, something like Steve Hall, but doesn't have to be Steve Hall. And,
What long-term means?
You need to, they'll
sorry.
explain all of that. This is not the time for all of your questions, okay?
I'm sorry.
means
That's
longer than
okay.
28 days.
Ms. Stapleton?
I concur with Mr. Barra.
And my vote today would be to revoke based on your 4th felony offender and you've had treatment and you continue to abscond. However, a 2-to-1 vote, you will be sent in lieu of revocation to a long-term DOC substance abuse facility. And that concludes our business at 9:02.
the only open on Sunday now. And when they open, you still have a high door. Well, we have church at home.
Hey, good morning. We're back at the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. Thank you so much, Mr. Marlborough, for your assistance this morning. Could please state your name and your DOC number for the record?
ST AMANT 465-753.
Mr. Sanama, you're before this panel. Panel is Ms. Stapleton to my left, Mr. Barra to my right, and I'm Ms. Ledoux. Do you have a piece of paper in front of you that you recognize your signature on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your answers to that questionnaire indicate that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. We're going to ask Mr. Barra to ask you some questions about your violations, and you will answer with a guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. Mr. Barra?
All right, it's alleged that you were engaged in criminal activity when you were arrested on 3/6/24 by the Jefferson Sheriff's Office for contraband in a correctional facility and possession with intent to distribute cocaine, oxy. The bill of information on the Jefferson docket indicated the charges were accepted by Jefferson Parish, and your court date was 2/9, but it looks like it's been continued to 3/12/26. How do you plead to that violation?
Guilty?
I do.
That's
Not guilty?
not guilty?
You have some questions, Mr. Palmer?
Well, I'm just looking at. As at the preliminary hearing, you pled not guilty. And you made the statement that I believe I was a target of an investigation and that the traffic stop was illegal. I understand how so many officers searched me and they didn't find anything until I got to jail. They strip searched and there is no evidence that the drugs were found on me in the jail. So elaborate on that. Tell us why you think you were targeted and why do you think the officers are lying? What's your defense against it?
Well, when the traffic stop happened, they kind of asked her for information and everything, and asked me did I have my license. Once they asked me for my license, the other officer, the passenger officer, he just pulled me out of the vehicle. He pulled me out of the vehicle and just went to searching me. He gave me no reason of nothing would happen. You know, he just went to searching me. After that, he kind of went to asking me questions about some past things that I didn't engage in anymore, figuring I'd probably do something. And I don't know, I ended up here. As far as them finding anything in the jail or anything also, they didn't find nothing here. I'm not even charged with that charge anymore.
The police report says they found you were arrested during an ongoing narcotics investigation and that you were found to be in possession of 17 grams of white rock-like substance. And then that was at the scene of the traffic stop. And then a scan at the jail, officers found 2 more bags of white rock-looking substance weighing 42 grams. So they're saying they found drugs on you on the scene and they found drugs on you on the jail. Did they find any drugs?
Sir, on the no, sir. At the traffic stop, they only got a phone and 1 gram of marijuana off me, sir.
What? So if they say they found 17 grams of white rock substance at the scene over there, then someone's telling a lie.
Yes, sir. The body cam was showing. I was trying to get the body cam to you, but my father, he was trying to call Miss Betty Williams. He was trying to get the information of how we could have got the body cams to y'all, so y'all could have went over it and kind of looked over it and stuff for yourself.
All right. And then the officers at the jail, which is different officers, say they found 2 bags of white rock substance weighing 42 grams.
That was the same officer who brought me in.
He did the strip search at the jail?
Yes.
And
he put me on the machine and then he just left out. He didn't tell the officer who was sitting at the monitoring machine. He didn't tell him nothing. He just put me on the machine and he just took off. Then he just took out.
Okay.
Then he didn't hand that officer nothing who was at the machine. He didn't tell him nothing. After he put me on the machine, came off, and then he left. He never said nothing.
All right.
So for the preliminary hearing, when I went up for the preliminary hearing, I guess they dismissed it, the introduction to contraband, because for the commission, they just had me charged with 1 charge, which is P. Witt right now.
Gotcha. All right. Anybody else have any questions for him?
I don't know. I have statements.
I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, Mr. Sonnemont, you know, if we have a police report versus, we have, that evidence is what we need, we go by, okay? Okay.
All right, I'm assigned your case. I'll cast the first vote. I'm looking at this case. You're a third of habitual offender for drugs, and then they finding drugs on you again. And your excuse this time is the cops are lying on their police reports. You leave me no choice but to revoke your parole.
Stapleton.
I concur, Mr. Barrow.
My vote is also to revoke for having illegal drugs. Thank you. I think that concludes our business there at Jefferson. Appreciate y'all's help. And it's 9:16.
Y'all have a good day.
Coming up there and embarrassing us is not making it better for anybody. It's taking time from your work. It's taking
Good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. Sitting on the panel today on my left is Ms. Carolyn Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Danny Barra. I'm Jerry Ledoux. Our remote site is Allen Correctional Facility. I really like that background there, Warden. It looks good. I'm going to allow the staff there at Allen to introduce yourself.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am Assistant Warden Jesse Bellamy.
Thank you. And ma'am?
Jessica Manual Classifications.
Great, thank you. Today we're having a parole hearing. Would the offender please state your name and your DOC number for the record?
DARIUS Sherman, 500129.
And Mr. Sherman.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to read some identifying information from the record, and then we'll be asking you some questions. We also have some people here in support, and we also have some people here in opposition.
Okay, come on.
Sir, I find that you're a first-class offender, that you're currently serving a 25-year sentence for forcible rape. You have a parole eligibility date 1/7/2026. You're not eligible for good time release, but you have a full term date of 10/7/2029. Any conflict with that? Okay. I'd like to before we begin hearing from other people, I want to hear from you. I want to ask you, could you explain why you are incarcerated and why we should consider early release at this time?
First, I want to say I take full accountability of my actions. There's no excuse for what I did, and what led me to be incarcerated is I made my daughter perform oral sexual act on me while we was riding around in my car.
Okay.
That was just something that should have never happened. If, giving me a chance to early release, I think I rehabilitated myself and seek the proper treatment, which is risk management. It gave me the knowledge and understanding of the 27 risk factors that I had no knowledge of before I came to prison. Didn't know how to seek help. Well, let me say it like this. My pride got in the way because I didn't want to ask for help because I was scared. But now that I know it's okay to ask for help, and I understand the actions that I've heard many people, my daughter and my family, and I'm just want to say I apologize for my action.
So, would you elaborate on what you have done to prepare yourself for release?
Yes, ma'am. I got my GED. I took Thinking for a Change, which changed the way I think. And that was like one of my biggest things when I was out there before I became incarcerated. I would never think before I act. Now that I have taken this class, it had really helped me to realize every action, everything you do is a reaction. So you want to think things through before you act. And I learned how to control my anger by taking Cajun Rage, and showed me that basically when you're angry and you in control of that, it's how you choose to control that anger. And the main thing I took the victim impact class, and that just really opened my eyes because it made me see from the point of view of a victim. And when I seen the things that they have to go through, the trauma, this is not just one episode, it's lifetime they have to deal with. And it just made me realize the pain that I have caused. And I took I seek the spiritual classes. I went to a year in Bible boot camp to learn about God. I know you have to change your heart. And I learned God is the way. And just I took many more classes like NCR to give myself a chance in society to be productive in society. And by me working at Prison Enterprise for like 8 years, it helped me with my warehouse skills to be able to be productive whenever I'm released. And I just look at life totally clear now because when I first came, before I came to prison, I didn't have no education, no hope. And then this experience has like, it's changed the way I look at life.
Thank you. Assistant Warden, would you like to make a statement about this offender since he's been, I think, with y'all for quite some time?
Yeah, he had done a good job on taking care of all his programs and things like that. So he had done good on that part also with his conduct. So
I think it was 2 write-ups and last one was in 2009. Is that correct? Okay. Just want to make sure my notes were correct. At this time, we'll go ahead and hear from your aunt, Elizabeth Sherman, who would like to speak. If you'll approach the podium and then just direct your comments to the panel.
Say good morning to you. I'm the head. Also, I'm the mother. Because his mother got killed 20-some years ago. I had to be the one to step in and raise them both. My mother, she just turned to a different person. I guess you all know that his mother was killed pretty brutally. And it was hard on me because I was working as a single mother myself, trying to raise these 2 kids with my mother. And they all were good kids in school. And I couldn't make a statement about no education. But he was going to school, and I think he went all the way up to the, I would say 7th grade, 8th grade. And as he got older, he started acting out. And I tried to be there for him, but like I said, I was a single mother working 11 to 7. I work night, get off in the morning. I always go by my mom's house, make sure they get to school. If they miss the bus, I'm taking them to school. And as he got in 7th grade, I know he made a change. Like I say, I couldn't be there to really be there to hold him down. And he was acting out at home. I would get off of work and go home and to my mom and try to get him straight. He always listened to me. He never, disrespect me or nothing like that. And, he was a good child. He never hang with a bad crowd. He was a little lonely. He stayed to himself. But in my mind, I was thinking about what is going on in his mind. But he was 8 years old, so he really didn't remember too much about the death of his mother. And as he got older, he got all out there in the world, you know how that goes, with his little friend. And I never known him to do no bad things. He didn't rob, he didn't do anything bad. For this to come up, it really touched me. It really broke us down. And I feel like a lot of that come from what happened with his mother. But I went on, there's no excuse for what he did, I know. What a state of mind he was in when he did it. I never know him to do any drugs. I think it was brought up that he was on drugs or had did drugs that day. I can't remember because I was in trial with it, when you get down. Like I said, he was a good child. He respected my mother, and he also respected me. And that ain't no problem. My mom never had. But this to come up, it really did touch me. I couldn't believe it myself.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate your comments. Do you have something to say about now? Or
okay, now I think he have learned his mistake. I heard him say that he learned his mistake. He know he done wrong. There's no excuse for what he done. And I'm not holding him. He got no excuse. But what he did was wrong. I have talked to him over and over, and he have told me, and yes, I know I hurt you, and I hurt my grandma. I said, and your sister also, but they're very close. He never wore for nothing. When he in prison, we took care of him, and the prison account, all of them gave us a good report, how he studied and did right in prison while he was down all the years. And he said, once I get out, he made her a promise and also promised to me. He said, I will do right. And I'm gonna make y'all proud of me.
well, thank you. We're going to hear now from Tina Baptiste, his sister.
So sorry.
Sorry, baby.
I'm emotional.
I was going to say, we understand that, so just relax and speak from your heart to us about what you need to say.
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you guys for allowing my mother to have this opportunity. I wrote down a couple of dates. I do employee relations for a living, so I'm a trained not to crier. And I'm crying and I'm shaking, and that's not what I'm trained to do. So I'm gonna rely on my training and my skills. And I'm gonna go very high level and get to the point. First and foremost, 1980, so I'm gonna throw some dates out there. My brother was born in 1980. I was 6, and all I knew is I was gonna have a brother. And my mom, I was probably going to the first grade, and she said, you're gonna have a brother. It was the summer, I was out of school, and this little big hip gentleman popped up. And my mom said, this is your brother, and you gotta take care of him. And I'm like, no, I don't, because I'm the golden child, and I've always been the golden child. But there was something special about my little brother. I'm gonna fast forward through some dates. My childhood, when our mom was alive, my brother played outside, just an average Southern kind of lifestyle outside, got dirty a lot. We had friends, we had good food, and we knew one thing, our mom loved us. My mom would affectionately call him our little man, and he was our little man. I call him a boy, always happy, always running, and full of life. So that's how I remember my brother. And one thing that I will say as I stay in the 1980s for just a couple seconds more, my brother always looked up to me. And I didn't understand why, but I knew he looked up to me. Like I said, I was the golden child. I wear that very proudly, even to this day. And it's just something about the way he always appreciated me. He always told me the truth. If he was a toy that was broken, and I'm like, did you do this? Yeah, I did it. So keep that in mind. My brother always told me the truth. So as time moved forward, unfortunately, we lost our mom, 1989, February 14th. I remember it was a Tuesday. I remember the time I was asleep. And heard all this commotion outside of my grandmother's house. And that was the day my brother and our world changed. And what I say about our world changed, because love, my mom, my grandmother, my aunt, keep in mind, I'm gonna keep talking about being the golden child, it's gonna make sense here in a minute. I can't remember my brother, where he was that day when our mom passed away. I don't remember my brother at the funeral, but I remember my Aunt Liz. And she said to me in front of my mom's casket, You're gonna remember this day forever. You're gonna remember everything about this day. And I can't remember my brother. But my Aunt Liz said, you're the strong one. And I want you to remember that. You're the strong one. She repeated over and over. And I'm like, these people keep telling me I'm the strong one. But I can't remember where my brother was. And I know I was a kid, but it hurts because I cannot remember where my brother was. And I say this in this moment, and please understand when I say this, I can't remember where my brother was. I can't remember, and I hold it to my heart. But I'm gonna say it again, like Aunt Liz, like you're the strong one. And I never understood what that meant. So let's keep passing forward through the years. Then this happened, my Aunt Liz called me, I don't know where in the world I was, and I didn't know this was happening. I call this the years of the whirlwind. And my Aunt Liz, always there, always will be, and she's sitting here right now for me and my brother. I don't remember at that point the whirlwind I call
Could you get to the point where about your brother's release? I understand he's going to. Okay.
So I'm gonna take you to the first time my brother was locked up, and this is where the commitment starts. When we first saw my brother in jail, he was behind the glass. That broke my heart, broke Aunt Liz's heart. And here's where I tell you, my brother made a commitment to me. I can't remember what year, but it was the first year he was locked up and he was behind the glass. And my aunt said to him, we cannot come here, look what you're doing to your sister, behind the glass. So a couple of years floated by, we went back to see him, he was not behind that glass. He said to me, I'm never gonna be behind that glass. I am doing what I'm supposed to do. He told me in those moments that there was something that happened. He told me this, what happened with him and his daughter was very hard for me to hear, but he looked me in my eye, he owned it. He owned it and he owned it and he owned it all throughout these years and he never stayed behind that glass.
Is he gonna be living with you when he releases?
Yes, I'm gonna get to that point. I live currently in Denver, Colorado. And when I knew my brother was coming up for parole, I did the work. I reached out a couple years ago when I knew that this was coming. There's a place in Colorado called the Center for Employment Opportunities, where I spent a lot of time volunteering, and they help provide me with some counseling and some techniques to understand what my brother is going to be facing. And then they actually have a job ready for him. For the Center of Employment Opportunities, we have a offer letter that we were able to do where he would be employed when he reaches Denver. I also have my residence, but I also have my father's house in Colorado who are willing to partner with me to make sure that my brother stays the course and help me understand the interstate compact that we have to be able to do.
Have you started that process?
Yes, yes. Now, like I said, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I will say this as affectionately as I can. I am my brother's keeper. And I will never leave his side. And I didn't know why I was going to be silent until now, because I am my brother's keeper. So that's what I'll leave you with. In terms of success, I've exceeded all expectations that anyone could have ever expected. And all I want to do is bestow that on my baby brother who I love. And I know he will never let me down because he hasn't. So I leave you with that. I have done my job. And I've been there and I am never, ever leaving his side.
Well, he's lucky to have you. He's lucky to have you. We also have Keisha Brown, who would like to speak. No, she's changed her mind. Huh? She has chosen to speak on camera. Ms. Brown, it's your turn to make a statement.
Okay, how y'all doing today? I'm making a statement saying that DARIUS Sherman has changed. I have seen a change in him, and he does deserve a second chance. I talked to my daughter, our daughter, about how would she feel about him getting out. And she says she's fine with that. She's not scared of him and stuff like that. But I know he didn't intentionally try to hurt her. He was on drugs at the time when she came home and told me what happened. And I pursued to do the charges and stuff like that because she was scared of him. But as the years went by, when I talked to him, when he saw him, he apologized. And a person know when a person is sincerely sorry. And he was sincerely sorry to hurting our child. And he apologized to her with a sincere heart. So yes, I do think he deserved a second chance. And we both have forgiven him. So, that's all I have to say, that, he deserves to be out.
Very brave of you to be with us today. Thank you very much for your comments.
You're welcome.
Now we have Mr. Philip Terrell, who is the Rapides Parish District Attorney, who would like to speak.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Other than taking someone's life, I can't think of anything worse than raping one's own 7-year-old daughter. Mr. Sherman confessed to making his own 7-year-old daughter perform oral sex upon him when she was just a little child. She was entrusted to his care, and that's what happened to her as a result of that. She was entrusted into his care by Ms. Brown, who just testified in favor of his release. He was charged with aggravated rape, and immediately after his arrest, he confessed that he had in fact made his 7-year-old daughter perform oral sex upon him. The jury was picked and the trial began. As soon as this is reflected in the minutes of the court. I wasn't there, of course, it's 25 years ago, more than 20 years ago, but the court minutes clearly reflect what I'm about to tell you is accurate. After state confession was played, and the jury was made aware of his confession and heard his defense lawyer asked for a recess and asked the state if there would be any possibility of any plea to a lesser thing that might result in a less than an automatic life without benefit of probation or suspension sentence. The state agreed because the only witness left of any import would be the 7-year-old child. The state agreed to allow him to plead to the charge of forcible rape, and with a stipulated stipulated sentence of 25 years. And that was done so the state, he confessed to the jury that he had committed aggravated rape. But in order to prove the case, the state would have had to put the 7-year-old child on the stand. She would have to go through the trauma, relive the trauma of her father raping her again. So the decision was made to allow him to plead to forcible rape, and he got a sentence of 25 years. The minutes of the court also reflect that he was present in open court with his lawyer, Mr. Blaine Williams, who was a very competent criminal defense lawyer. Mr. Williams has since passed away, but he was an excellent lawyer, did a good job for his clients. He was fully boycotted. He signed a plea form. He made a deal for 25 years to keep himself from having to go to Angola for his life, the remainder of his life. These nice ladies testified about the progress that their nephew and brother had made, and they had really good things to say about how he done well in prison. But if you notice, his aunt didn't say anything at all about the victim. And his sister mentioned the victim in one sentence and said that he had expressed to her that he was sorry, that he had expressed to his sister that he was sorry that he did it and that it wouldn't happen again. You know, these nice ladies also, the nice aunt said that that while she had a tough time because of her having to work and not always be there supervising. But if you'll notice, she said he never stole, he never did drugs, he didn't do any of that. Well, that sounds a little bit to me like he may well be a pedophile. And the science shows that pedophiles and rapists very seldom change. But back to the main point. The main point is, and it's admirable, and I know that he has had a very good prison record, and it is admirable. He has done well. He's taken a ton of courses to do better. But if you go back to the fact that he committed this horrible crime, he made a deal with the state of Louisiana and with his victim that he would do 25 years. So simply, I could belabor that all day long, but simply put, the man made a deal to keep from going to prison for the rest of his life. And the state of Louisiana submits that he should remain in prison and do his entire sentence that he got that is a blessing to him and was a good deal that his lawyer got. I'd be happy to answer any questions that y'all have. I usually talk a lot longer, I'm sorry.
No.
I try to get to the point.
Yeah, well, you
Thank
covered
you. We
everything.
appreciate
Thank you
that.
very
Thank you.
much. Thank you for coming.
This case has been assigned to Mr. Barra. Mr. Barra, you can leave with any questions you may have.
Yeah. When you got arrested, have you bonded out since then, or you been in jail the whole time?
Well, I had bonded out and then they picked me up when they upgraded the charge to aggravated rape.
So on this charge, how many years have you served of your 25?
21 years and like 4 months.
Tell us why you think that now would be a good time to consider a release for you. What's different?
Well, I have knowledge of 21 factors, which I didn't know anything about the risk factors, understanding the help that I could have gotten but to prevent this crime from ever happening. Now that I have taken this class, and I actually took the class for almost 5 years, and I also helped the other guys in here with the class. And that has really just opened my eyes to make sure I never put myself at risk ever again. And I just rehabilitated my mind to think different than I used to think. And I just feel like I strive every day to be a better person, to learn from my decisions I made. Just every day striving to be the best that person I can be today. And I just feel like I did everything I could to be a changed person. And I just feel if I get the opportunity for early release, I would volunteer my time or whatever to go into the prisons, back into the prison system, to talk to the guys that you can change. It's all on you to put in the work to change. And that's all I have.
What do you think is the most valuable thing you've learned? The most important thing, valuable thing.
The most valuable thing I've learned, that nobody deserves to be a victim. And you should always think about other people feeling and what you're going to put them through if you commit a crime.
All right. That's the only questions I had.
Got a question.
Yes.
Okay, this is gonna be, I know, a very uncomfortable question, but Mr. Terrell made a comment about it. When you have a sex crime,
Yes.
and it involves like your own child or somebody close to you and they're a child, like a 7-year-old, that's a different type of sex crime. And a lot of times the recidivism rate is extremely high because it's not something somebody would normally do. They're going to look for somebody their own age, even if it's aggravated rape or whatever. But this is very different. So, like I said, the recidivism rate is very high when someone gets back out. Have you taken classes for this particular type of sex crime?
But the risk management, we talks about pedophiles and all that nature.
Yes.
And I now understand that something you should have never done, and that's the worst thing a person could do, and I take full accountability for that. And I can honestly say, things I know today, I would never do those things again. I would never put myself at risk, anybody at risk for that to ever happen again.
Not that I think this is an excuse, believe me, but were you using drugs or alcohol, or, you just...
At that present time, ma'am, I was using drugs, but I can't recall on that day, but I used to do drugs and I seek the proper help for that. And I went to NAAA and I learned that I was not thinking when you're on drugs, and therefore I hate drugs. Never want to be around drugs ever again.
Well, people who will do that they don't have to be on drugs. That's a mind thing going on, brain issue. Okay, well, that's what I wondered. Had you had any specific specialized classes concerning that particular type of sex crime? And you say, okay.
I believe we've heard from both sides. We've asked our questions. The panel is prepared to vote. Mr. Barra.
This is a tough one. Let me just say that. I see that you've done a lot of good things while you've been in jail. You got a lot of support letters, even from prison staff. You're low risk on your Tiger score, your programs, which in the evaluation said too many to list, which I agree, you did a lot of programs. With the victim being in favor, kind of sways me a little bit from where I was before we started this hearing. I do understand what Mr. Terrell is saying also. So all of that being said, I'm going to vote to grant you parole to an approved residence. You're not going to get out without an approved residence. And that you're going to complete all the sex offender requirements and stay involved in sex offender treatment the whole time of parole. In other words, even if they say you don't need it anymore, I'm saying you need to stay in treatment the whole time. If you get out of treatment, then we got a problem. You need to find a support group, stay in that group, stay into it. That you have a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. with electronic monitoring. That you attend AA and NA 1 time per week. That you get a mental health evaluation on the outpatient. That you have no contact with any juvenile unsupervised, period. And the reason I'm granting you parole is that if we hold you until the final, we don't have any say-so over these conditions. And we're just putting you back out without any support groups and without any other oversight. So the point of until supervision ends is the key to your release today. So don't go and assume that, oh, it's 2 years and I haven't had a problem and I'm still doing good and the doctor says I'm fine. I don't care about that. You're going to stay into some kind of support group for sex offenders and stay into treatment for the whole time. That's my vote.
Stapleton.
Based upon everything that Mr. Barra just said, and all the conditions he put on you, I think it's a better decision to do that than to wait until a full-time date and then you just get out and we don't have any of this continued, monitoring to see how you do and for you to see how you're gonna do. Because right now you're in a very secure situation to prevent anything from happening. So, everything he said, I concur with, and I'm going to grant your parole based upon all the conditions he named.
Mr. Sherman, I will never negate the seriousness of your crime. However, I have to commend you for the tremendous work that you have done while incarcerated to prepare yourself for this day. You know, you made a comment early on, you had no education and no hope. Well, today you sit before us with education and with hope. And you have a path forward. My vote is to grant parole. We'll put you under supervision. My vote is to grant you only to the Interstate Compact to Colorado. We appreciate what you've done to prepare yourself. You've been granted today. That concludes at 10:01.
Thank you.
Good morning. It's now 10:15 and the Louisiana Committee on Parole is going to be hearing offenders at West Baton Rouge Parish Jail. On my left is Carolyn Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Bob Rye. I'm Ms. Ledoux. We're the panel today. Would the offender please introduce yourself with your DOC number? I'm sorry, you're on mute. You can unmute.
Okay, you can hear me
Yes.
now?
Yes. Is there anyone in the room with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
You want me to get somebody?
No, sir. Go ahead and state your name and your DOC number.
No, my name is Michael Coleman. My DOC number is 559151.
Mr. Coleman, you're before this panel with allegations that you violated the conditions of your parole. Do you have a piece of paper in front of you that is a questionnaire and you see your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your answers to that indicate that you're not eligible for appointed counsel.
I shouldn't need it. I don't think I need it, but maybe I do. I don't know.
But you're not eligible.
Oh,
You're not eligible for appointed counsel.
yes, ma'am.
I'm going to read the allegation against you, and then I need you to enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty.
Okay.
Condition number 4, on 8/2/2025, you committed the offense of simple battery and interfering with emergency communication, evidenced by your arrest by the Addis Police Department. On 8/18/25, the 18th JDC billed the subject with simple battery and interfering. However, the pending charges were dismissed in open court. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty.
So what happened that you were arrested, and can you give me a
I'm gonna try to make it as brief as possible, man, because I know y'all got a lot to do. This is a big misunderstanding. I just was released. I did 10-year sentence. It's complete. I didn't never got a write-up the whole time. I did the whole 10 years with no write-up. I got every class I could get while I was in there, including the STEP program, a full year. I got a pile of certificates. I'm ready to change. I've changed my life. I'm doing IOP. My grandmother got sick. She was 99 years old, which is my mama's mama. And I came down to West Baton Rouge to see her before she passed. Well, the night I got here, she ended up passing away, and we had a little argument or whatever happened, but nobody was touched, nothing happened. My sister called the police. I went to jail. I missed the funeral. And the charge has been dropped since the 5th. My mama got sick during the holidays. Now she's went to the hospital because she couldn't breathe. They had to pump her lungs and they found cancer. So my mama just got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I have limited time with her. I did not do anything to my sister. I do not believe in hitting women. I don't have no violent on my record at all. That's not my jacket. This never happened. This is just a big misunderstanding. And I apologize for y'all having to come today for this because this was just a big misunderstanding.
And you've been detained since August of 25?
Yes, man. 6.5 months now for nothing.
Okay.
I just seen my
Fine.
PO. I know I'm in good standards with my supervision. I should be in good terms with that because I just seen him and let him know. The only thing was I was only out for 3.5 months. I didn't have time to get a job and start paying, but I did just get a job at Walmart because of my transportation. I was having trouble with transportation, so I ended up going 2 blocks away from where I stay and to the neighborhood Walmart. They hired me. I have proof of all this. Somebody's they can prove it. They hired me, but I can't. I couldn't go to my orientation. I was waiting on a background check for that. So I couldn't walk to that job.
Do either of my colleagues have questions?
Okay.
I got a question. Do you think you have a drug problem?
Yes, sir. Listen, I know I have a drug problem, and I was attending IOP, currently attending IOP on my own. This is not from my parole officer, no court system telling. I know I have to go to meetings, and I have a daily thing. I have to take care of that. If not, I'll go back into my addiction, and I don't want that anymore. I changed my life. Over that 10-year sentence, I really broke down and changed my life.
Tell me about IOP. What was that schedule like, and what are you planning? What will it be? If we release you, what will it be?
I'm going back to IOP. It's Longleaf Behavioral Hospital in Alexandria. I go 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. I go because I enjoy it. But they drug test me, and they do, we do meetings. They feed you at the end of the day around 1 when I leave, and I got my counselors wrote me a thing for y'all. I should have got all of that. I had proof of my
name of the place. Longleaf
Behavioral Hospital.
And it's in Alexandria?
I was currently attending that right before I came to jail. I got proof of all of this. Everything I'm saying, I got proof of.
And you think that you would be able to walk right back into that?
Yeah, I know for sure I will. They like me. They like me.
All right. So my only question.
I don't have any.
I will read this and it's very interesting. Tommy Thompson is your attorney or is an attorney.
Yes, man. He been my attorney my whole life. They know my family. They know this wasn't true. They know this never happened.
And he's asking for you to not be revoked. Sir, based on no criminal conduct against you, my vote today is to not revoke you, to continue you on parole. With the stipulation that you continue your sobriety
Oh, yeah,
plans.
yeah. They wasn't telling me to do. Y'all don't have to. I know I have to do that. I know I have a drug problem. I know. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, though.
And Mr. Barra,
All right, I'm gonna also vote to reinstate your parole,
Yes, sir.
but you said Longleaf was voluntary. I'm gonna make Longleaf ordered as a condition. So completing your program at Longleaf Hospital IOP is mandatory now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Second.
Okay, I'm going to reinstate your parole and, because I don't see that there was any criminal activity. And I'm glad that you have plans for your life to stay, to have life in the
Thank you,
future.
ma'am. Thank you.
My condolences about your grandmother and your mother.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
Go do well. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Good morning. This is the Louisiana Committee on Parole. Panel today in headquarters in Baton Rouge. To my left is Carolyn Stapleton. To my right is Danny Byra. I'm Jerry Ledoux. Would you please introduce yourself with your name and your DOC number?
Aaron Ruffin, 70767.
Okay, let's try that again. What's your DOC?
7768020.
That's right. All right. Mr. Ruffin, you're before this panel today, allegations that you violated the conditions of your parole. I'm going to read the allegations against you, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Number 4. On 11/15/25, you were involved in criminal activity in the commission of the offense of aggravated assault with firearm in Port Allen. You were arrested by the Port Allen Police Department on 11/15/25. You were billed with simple assault, 3 counts, and you were set for arraignment, and you have a court date of 2/23/2026. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay. And number 5, according to the police report, you were in possession of a firearm and you pointed the weapon at your sister. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
And the second part of that is that you were arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm. You're not guilty of that charge?
Oh, no, ma'am. Not guilty.
Okay. Mr. Ruffin, I read the police report. I need to hear from you. We have the police report. Did you have a gun?
No, ma'am.
Why did 3 people say you did?
That's what my people do. That's what they do. When we was in a heated altercation and they wanted to get me in trouble
Why would they want to get you in trouble?
because we was in a heated argument.
So what caused this argument?
Oh, I caused it because I came in the house. Or whatever. I was aggravated and stuff, and I was slamming doors. That's what caused the argument.
Were you doing drugs when that happened?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Why were you going through the house slamming doors?
Something happened with me and my girlfriend. So
We're trying to get you to tell us what happened. What happened with you and your girlfriend?
oh, she was cheating on me.
She was cheating on you. You got mad. You came back to the house. You walked through the house aggravated, slamming doors, and got your whole family aggravated.
Yes,
And y'all started.
sir.
So you got your whole family aggravated when you walked in there with that attitude, and then y'all started fussing.
Yes, sir.
They called the cops and said you had a gun,
Yes, sir.
but you didn't have a gun.
No, sir.
Well,
Okay.
they knew that you'd go back to jail if you had. Why would they want you to go back to jail? That's a big thing, is you going back to jail. Is there something else going on? What's the underlying issue going on here?
No, ma'am. My people just dirty like that. And I didn't have a gun.
Okay.
So is it something that maybe, like you said, an underlying problem that somebody would think maybe you need to go to the hospital, get some medicine to help calm you down, and you can't get that at home, and they just want you to get the help that you need that would have caused all this to happen? Is that what's going on here? It's not about drugs or anything like that, but maybe it's a medical situation.
No, I never had any medical issues in my life. It was just a misunderstanding. That's all it was.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any kind of do you have a paper in front of you that you recognize your signature on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're not eligible for appointed counsel, so you don't have the have you been treated for a mental health issue before?
ADHD when I was a child.
Okay, well, you still have to go to court for these. Are your people going to show up and say they don't want charges pressed?
My charge has been dropped.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Okay,
I didn't see the charter. That's set for 2/23/26.
so yeah, you still have a court date, 2/23/26.
26.
Yeah, this year, this month, on the 23rd, it says you have a court date.
For my charges?
3 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm.
My charge has been dropped. All 3 of them.
Okay, I would like to set this offender aside until we can verify that. So we're gonna postpone your hearing for a little bit until we get clarification.
You can go to executive session.
We can go into executive session and determine that. Do I have a motion and a second?
Yes.
You want a second, Ms. Harold?
Second.
Okay, we'll be back. We're gonna go into executive session to verify that information.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your patience, and the information that we have verified is that your charges have been dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Ruffin, during our executive session, I re-reviewed the police report and the information in your file from your family. And my vote today is going to continue you on supervision conditioned upon that you get a mental health evaluation before release and follow any treatment plan that they have, okay? So you're not going to be released to the streets today. You need to get a DOC mental health evaluation, okay? Before. Mr. Barrod,
I'm gonna concur with Ms. Lippin.
Ms. Stapleton.
And I concur with Ms. Dick.
Okay, so you'll get a mental health eval before you go back home, and the time is now 10:47. That concludes our business there at West Baton Rouge. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Lee. This is the Louisiana Committee on Parole, and today we're in Pamela headquarters in Baton Rouge. On my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Barra and Ms. Ledoux. You're at the Orleans Parish Prison. Could you state your name and your DOC number for the record?
My name is 554-305.
So you state it one more time for me.
Excuse me?
You have an echo. Could you state your name and your DOC number one more time?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Darius Lee, 554-305.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Lee, I'm going to read some allegations of, I'm going to ask you, first of all, do you have a questionnaire in front of you that you recognize your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that questionnaire, the answers indicate that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. Have you hired an attorney for today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to continue then. Ms. Stapleton is going to read the allegations against you, and you're going to answer her with a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Lee, the first rule violation is number 4, and it was on 10/2/2025. You were arrested by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office and booked with operating while impaired, first offense, under item number J-01329-25. What do you plead?
I plead not guilty, ma'am.
Okay, and then on rule violation number 4, on 10/3/2025, you were arrested by the Kenner Police Department. This was the very next day, and booked with operating while impaired, second offense, reckless operation of a vehicle, hit and run driving, all under J-80091-25. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty. I have a statement I can put behind it.
Okay, and then it has also right up underneath, the charges are still in screening. So what is your statement?
Okay. Late August, I was working for the Department of Public Works, and I had passed out and I hit my head on a truck. And I hit my head on a truck, which I was sent to the hospital, and I had caught a seizure. And I went to the doctor. The doctor had diagnosed me with catching seizures. So late August, and during the month of September, I was catching seizures all through the month of September. Now it's on documentation that has happened. So October 2nd, when I was driving my truck, I actually stopped my truck and I put on my hazard lights, and because I felt a seizure coming on, I put on my hazard lights, and the next thing I know, I was getting pulled out of my truck. That was October 2nd. So I was getting pulled out of my truck. So I wasn't really knowledgeable of what was going on. So I went to Johnson Parish. Well, 12 hours later, I had got released, but I had a sign out bond, and I had signed out. So the police department told me that they had left my truck on side the road, and I had took a lift So I had took a lift to go get my truck, but knowing I have yet to take no medication. I had took a lift to go get my truck because I got a nice truck and I didn't want nobody to steal nothing that's in my truck or not say my truck come up stolen. Well, I had got to my truck. I had a flat tire. I changed my flat tire, and I was on my way home. So I was on my way home driving. I had caught another seizure on the way home. You know what I'm saying? So I had caught another seizure, but this time when I woke up, I was getting pulled in a Kenner police department car. But let alone, I didn't see no medical staff. That was October 3rd. So when I was taking my medication, I was okay, but a lot of the incidents I really don't recall so good. I know October 6th or 7th, I caught another seizure. So it's like all this started happening, like me catching seizure, me catching seizure, because I know they say the first DWI, whatever they were saying that I blew in a breathalyzer, it was 0.002. And the second breathalyzer I blew in it was 0.000. You know, so it's like I didn't have no alcohol on my breath. And like everything out there I have been doing since I've been home, I maintain a job. I've been going to I'm going to school. I'm going to college for business. You know, and I work at temp service jobs. I had a main job and a temp service job, and I'm going to school. So I was staying busy, and I'm helping my sick uncle that has colon cancer. So I'm helping them at the house, trying to maintain everything. I'm not, like I say, things I'm doing. I'm trying to better myself. I'm not trying to violate the rule. I'm not trying to get thrown back in jail. This has been a heartbreaker for me. Being here, me just coming home after doing 17 years, I ain't trying to do nothing to cause no pain or no affliction or break the law. I ain't trying to do none of that. This been an eye opener. Like since I've been in here, it's like this is something that I do not want, because of everything that I have been doing was to show that I'm a changed person. Like I said, I'm maintaining jobs. I'm going to school. Like I'm going to church. Like I'm a church member. Like I said, I'm maintaining my parole fees. I'm paying that. I'm doing everything that needs to be done. Like I said, I had left society when I was 18. Came home when I'm 35 years old. A lot of things have changed on me. And me trying to adjust to society and how everything changed it's been hard, because I actually didn't really have that much help. But I've been doing it. I've been making everything work. So speaking back on these charges is like, like I said, I had a medical condition, which was proven. Like my parole officer, like I said, I had 3 or 4 parole officers in 7 months. And I never had to really got a chance to really maintain a relationship with none of them. But like I said, I maintain my fees.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Lee. Let's get back to the seizures. When you hit your head at work, so that was an on-the-job injury. Was that covered in any way by workman's comp or anything like that?
They was fighting me about trying to get workman's comp, but I had hired attorney.
Yes,
I do got paperwork stating that I got paperwork, trying to file, trying to get work in this comp for it.
yeah,
But I'm trying because, like, you know, certain people didn't want to pay, but I got work. I got hurt on the job, and it was and it was also it's documented.
okay. All right, so it's documented that you got, now let me ask you something else. Okay, so you were driving your vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
And at that point, you knew you had seizures. Most
Yes,
people who have active seizures, they're not allowed to drive. They know they're not supposed to drive.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that because this is something that is new to me. Like me trying to learn my.
Do you know that now, though? Do you know that now? That, I mean, that's a added problem. And are you on medication now?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there is medication that'll prevent the seizures.
Yes, ma'am. I've been taking my medication ever since I've been in this jail. And like the month before I came to jail, I had got my prescriptions, and I've been taking my medication since then, and I never had a seizure since then.
It can be controlled. Now, listen, I want to ask you something else. On October the 3rd, in the police report, this is the one where it's struck one vehicle and obvious signs of impairment, including incoherent speech, bloodshot, and unsteady. And so they noticed that in the back of the car was a partially consumed bottle of gin. Can you tell me about that?
October 3rd, they had a party, but I don't recall. I don't recall that because, like I say, my breathalyzer shows that I was.
Yeah, breathalyzer came back clean. That's right.
Yeah. So I was not drinking. I didn't have no drink.
Yeah. I'm gonna suggest y'all ask questions and then.
So we have two people who would
Oh, I'm
like
sorry,
to,
yes. Okay.
speak, his mother and his sister.
Is there two? I see this one.
She's on now.
Yeah.
So at this time, we would like to ask for Carletta Lee, your mother, who's joined us via Zoom, to make a comment to the panel.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
And
Good morning. I don't know what's going on.
We hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, my name is Charlotte Lee. I'm Darius's mom. I just want to speak on behalf of my son. Like he explained, since he's came home, he's been home 7 months, and he has made a lot of progress, considering the situation of trying to adjust. He did do job one and complete the reentry program. There's limited resources. He's also went through counseling. He has been to see a psychiatrist to help with the adjustment with him into society. He has been a huge help and asset to the family. He helps take care of me and my brother. We stay alone. Which this is where he would be living with just me and my 75-year-old brother. He had a couple of seizures. I'm diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I'm so sorry. He has been a huge asset to the home financially and physically. He's enrolled in Delgado, taking courses. He goes to church with us. He's done a lot to be staying in part of society. He is a good-hearted person. He has made some mistakes, but I do feel that he deserves a second chance. I don't feel incarcerating him would benefit him because he's already had a hard time adjusting, and he's entered into a lot of programs and self-help. He's even in a peer counseling program at Jefferson Parish with Dr. Jamal, where the men meet together and they analyze and see where they can better their lives. Darius has a strong, strong family support. He has 6 other sisters and brothers. Of course, have 4 more away at college, and he's the only one that's home in New Orleans at the time. That's really an asset to us. Um, like I said, it's only been 7 months that he has been home, but he has done a lot to try to better himself. He has not done everything right. But it has been an adjustment, and he was just starting to really get the sync of things and getting into where he needed to be. I've spoken with him, been with him. He comes from a good family. We're not rich, but we come from a good, grounded family. If given a chance, I would do everything in my power to assure that he follows all the conditions, even if he's put into programs, whatever it may be, we will come together. I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to speak on his behalf. And yes, when that happened, the incident at hand, he was living here at home. I had reached out to his parole officer, sent them some texts to try to keep them abrupt. But every time I did, it was like they had switched up. So he's sinking into where he was to move forward, to become a better person, a better part of society. Like I said, he helps around the church. I could have had the pastor to come on, but I've never been through this type of deal before, so I didn't have all the formalities together. I'm not going to speak long, but if there's anything that I can assist with, any questions you guys have, feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you very much.
Also, your sister, Ms. McDaniel, has joined us. Ms. McDaniel, you may make a statement to the panel.
Good morning. My name is DeJounte McDaniel. I'm speaking on behalf of his character and his time while he was home on parole. As you all may know, it's not the easiest to re-enter in society after being gone for so long. It could be kind of challenging because this is a whole new world versus when he first left. Just piggybacking off what my mom said, he has completed certifications. He stayed with the job, if not multiple, and he was enrolled in
You froze up.
the fall 2025. He's working to get his associates soon for business. And he was also helping my mom and my uncle back at home. I'm in Germany right now, but he's the only one living at home. But I have said that he was changing, re-entering into society. He stayed busy for the most part with different programs, trying to, I guess, navigate through life and stuff like that. This is unfortunate, but I do hope that we can, I do hope that we can kind of work something out, because he's been trying. It's been an adjustment. Like my mom said, he's been talking to people, psychiatrists, going to different programs, trying to kind of make sure that his life go on the right path. He always said that he didn't want to slip up. He didn't want to, go back to jail. That's all he always said. He didn't want to go back to jail. But that's pretty much all. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, Mr. Barra, do you have any questions for the offender?
Yeah, how long did you say you were in jail, incarcerated?
17 years.
And no, I'm talking about for these arrests for this violation right here. How many?
I've been in here since November the 23rd. November 23rd. So November 23rd till now. Today was February 11th. So almost like 3 months.
All right. And all right, I'm ready to vote.
Stapleton, prepared to vote.
Well, I see, proof of your seizures, because I see the ambulance request to your house and everything 4 separate times. I just want to know, what do you plan to do so that you have ways back and forth to work and different things like that?
I have my mother. I got my mother that she'll probably drive me back and forth to where I could be able to catch a lift back and forth to work. Like I said,
have some kind of solution until you get a medical document saying that you're cleared to drive. And they might do that with the medication, but I do see a number of times where you had seizures and you were on the floor. So I mean, that verifies everything that you say. And I do see where you got your prescriptions and stuff. And I do hear that you're trying to do the best with your life based upon where you're at. And it's unfortunate that this has happened to you. So, so my vote today is going to be, I'm not going to revoke you. And I want you to continue under medical supervision. And I do not want you to drive until you have documentation that it's safe for you to drive. And I'm sure that would have to come from your doctor. You'd have to get cleared to drive. So you could use a lift or your mother or something, because otherwise this is going to happen again. And I don't want it to happen again and someone get hurt. That's mine.
Mr. Byron.
Vote the same. Do not revoke and don't drive until you got a medical clearance.
I'll concur with my colleagues. Mr. Lee, and don't be drinking on parole.
I'm not, man.
Today, you have not been revoked. Be continued on supervision. The restriction of not being able to drive until you have medical clearance to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know what I
Ma'am,
did.
is Richard Hannon still in court?
Yes, ma'am.
He is still in court?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna continue his case. We're gonna go ahead with Henry Talley in just a few seconds, okay?
Okay, he's right here, President.
Okay, thank you.
Tallie. Right page, building lines. Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Here before the Louisiana Committee on Parole. On my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Barra, and I'm Ms. Ledoux. And if you will state your name and your DOC number for the record, please.
Name is Henry Stanton, 378883.
Okay. Mr. Talley, you're before this panel due to allegations of misconduct on parole. Do you have a questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the answers to that question states that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. I see that you have retained counsel. Would your attorney please introduce yourself for the record, sir?
Committee members, my name is Sean Collins. I'm Mr. Talley's appointed counsel through the Orleans Public Defender's Office in relation to the criminal case Mr. Talley is now facing in Section E of the Criminal District Court. I had sent a letter on Monday morning asking this hearing be continued. I was told that a decision would be made about that today. The allegations against Mr. Talley forming the basis to request revocation are entirely related to the new criminal conduct where Mr. Talley faces trial on February 23rd of this year. I anticipate that trial date is going to happen. I would ask that this hearing be continued due to his pending criminal charges until after that trial date. I think it's appropriate since the allegations for the revocation relate to the accusations for which Mr. Talley is standing trial.
Mr. Collins, yes, we're very aware of your request. Let me go ahead and complete the formal portion of this hearing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we need to have Mr. Talley answer questions regarding the violations. Ms. Stapleton will read the violations, and you are to enter a plea, Mr. Talley, of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. Ms. Stapleton, would you proceed?
Okay, Mr. Talley, starting with rule violation number 4, you failed to refrain from criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest by the New Orleans Police Department and the United States Marshals on May 17, 2023 for second-degree murder. The case is currently pending under Orleans Magistrate number 604640. The case also includes 2 counts of possessions of a firearm by a convicted felon, which has been accepted by the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office. The pretrial conference was 1/23/26, and the trial is 2/23/26. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with a statement?
Not guilty, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, and then number 5, you failed to refrain from possessing or controlling a firearm as evidenced by your arrest by the New Orleans Police Department and United States Marshals on May 17, 2023 for second-degree murder. The incident involved use of a firearm. In addition, you had a firearm in your possession or control at the time and location of your arrest. How do you plead?
Not guilty, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Now the panel will consider, so Mr. Talley, is it your request as well to continue this case?
Yes, ma'am. It is my request as well to continue my case.
Okay. So is the panel prepared to vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ms. Stapleton?
Okay, my recommendation is to continue this case pending the disposition of the criminal charges that are set against you.
Mr. Barra?
I concur.
My vote is also to continue until the charges have been disposed of. Thank you, Mr. Collins, for your patience and for your presence here today. So, Mr. Talley, at this time, your parole hearing has been continued until after court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, committee members.
Welcome.
And then we're also going to go to okay, the parole committee also had for consideration today Richard Hannon, DOC 284891, who was to answer for violations. Mr. Hannon is currently in court and will not be able to appear today. So the panel will formally vote to continue his hearing. Ms. Stapleton?
Oh, what?
Continue.
Oh, yes, continue.
Mr. Barra?
I'll vote to continue.
So Mr. Hannon's case has been continued because of his inability to appear. The time is now 11:29, and that concludes our business there in Orleans and for the day. Thank you very much.